Hi everyone, my name is Parul. Welcome to my channel Parul English Lab. Today I'll tell you how to pronounce 100 countries correctly in English. So please watch this video till the end, and before going ahead, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, then please do it, and don't forget to press the bell icon also for future notifications. Now let's start our today's video. First country is Algeria. There are three syllables, Algeria, and the stress is on the second syllable, Algeria, Algeria, Algeria. Next is Argentina. There are total four syllables, Argentina, and the stress is on the third syllable, Argentina, Argentina, Argentina. Here I'm not saying Argentina, I'm not pronouncing the letter R, because in British English we generally don't pronounce R. Okay, so whether you say it Argentina or Argentina, they both are correct. Next is Armenia. Armenia, Armenia. So there are three syllables and you have to stress on the second syllable, Armenia, Armenia, Armenia. Next is Australia, Australia. Again, three syllables and stress is on the second one, Australia, 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 Australia. Next is Austria. So there are two syllables and the stress is on the first syllable, Austria, 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 Austria. Next is Bahamas, Bahamas. So there are three syllables and stress is on the second one, Bahamas, 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 Bahamas. Next one is Bahrain. Again, there are two syllables and the stress is on the second one, Bahrain, 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 Bahrain. Next one is Belgium, Belgium. So again there are two syllables and the stress is on the first syllable, Belgium, 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 Belgium. Next is Bolivia, Bolivia. Again there are three syllables, Bolivia, and the stress is on the second syllable, Bolivia, 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 Bolivia. Next one is Botswana, Botswana, Botswana. The stress is on the third syllable, Botswana, 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 Botswana. Next one is Brazil, Brazil, and stress is on the second syllable, Brazil, 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 Brazil. Next one is Bulgaria, Bulgaria. So there are three syllables and you have to stress on the second one, Bulgaria, 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 Bulgaria. Next is Cambodia. There are three syllables and the stress is on the second syllable, Cambodia, 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 Cambodia. Next one is Cameroon, Cameroon. So again there are three syllables and the stress is on the third one, Cameroon, 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 Cameroon. Next is Canada, Canada. So three syllables and stress is on the first one, Canada, 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 Canada. Next is Chile, Chile. So there are two syllables and stress is on the first one, Chile, 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 Chile. Next one is Colombia, Colombia. So there are 3 syllables and you have to stress on the second one. Colombia, 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 Colombia. This one is China. Stress is on the first syllable. China, 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 China. Next is Ivory Coast. So Ivory, there are 3 syllables and the stress is on the first one. Ivory, 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 Ivory Coast, Ivory Coast. Next is Croatia, Croatia. So there are 3 syllables, Croatia, and the stress is on the second one. Croatia, Croatia, Croatia. This one is Cuba, Cuba. 2 syllables and stress is on the first one. Cuba, 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 Cuba. Next is Czech Republic, Czech, Czech Republic, Czech Republic, Czech Republic, Czech Republic. Next is Denmark, Denmark. So the stress is on the first syllable. Denmark, 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 Denmark. This one is Dominica. There are total 4 syllables and you have to stress on the third one. Dominica, 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 Dominica. Next is Egypt, Egypt, not Egypt. Egypt, Egypt, Egypt. Next is Equatorial Guinea, Equatorial, 3 syllables and stress is on the second one. Equatorial, Equatorial, Equatorial. And this is Guinea, Guinea, Equatorial Guinea. Next is England, not England. It's England. So 2 syllables and you have to stress on the first one. England, England, England. Next is Ethiopia, Ethiopia. So there are 4 syllables and you have to stress on the third one. Ethiopia, 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 Ethiopia. Next is Fiji, 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 Fiji. Next is Finland, Finland. There are 2 syllables and the stress is on the first one. Finland, Finland, Finland. Next is France, France, France. Next is Gambia, Gambia. So there are 2 syllables and you have to stress on the first one. Gambia, 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 Gambia. Next is Georgia, Georgia. So there are total 4 syllables and the stress is on the second one. G-O-G-A. Georgia, 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 Georgia. Next is Germany, Germany. So 3 syllables and stress is on the first one. Germany, 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 Germany. This one is Ghana, Ghana. So 2 syllables and stress is on the first one. Ghana, 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 Ghana. Next is Greece, Greece. There is only 1 syllable. Greece, Greece. This one is Guinea. 2 syllables. Guinea, 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 Guinea. This one is Hungary, Hungary. Not hungry, Hungary, Hungary, Hungary. 2 syllables and the stress is on the first one. Hungary, Hungary. No hungry. Hungary, Hungary. Next is Iceland. There are 2 syllables and the stress is on the first one. Iceland, 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 Iceland. This one is Indonesia. There are three syllables, Indo, Ne, Zia, and the stress is on the second one, Indonesia. Not Shia, it's Zia, Zia. Indonesia, 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 Indonesia. Next is Ireland, Ireland. So there are two syllables and the stress is on the first one, Ireland, 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 Ireland. Next one is Israel. Two syllables, Israel, and the stress is on the second one, rail, Israel, Israel, Israel. Next is Jamaica, Jamaica. Three syllables, Jo, May and Ka. The stress is on the second one, May, Jamaica, 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 Jamaica. Next is Japan. So two syllables and stress is on the second one, Pan, Japan, Japan, Japan. Next is Jordan, Jordan. So jaw, the stress is on the first syllable, Jordan, 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 Jordan. This one is Kazakhstan or Kazakhstan. They both are correct. Stan, Stan. So they both are correct and it's up to you how you want to pronounce this country. Kazakhstan. So there are three syllables and the stress is on the third one. Kazakhstan, Kazakhstan, Kazakhstan. Next is Kenya, Kenya. So there are two syllables and stress is on the first one. Kenya, 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 Kenya. Next is Kuwait, Kuwait. Two syllables, ka and wait. So stress is on the second syllable. Kuwait, 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 Kuwait. Next is Kyrgyzstan, Kyrgyzstan. And there are three syllables. The stress is on the second one. Kyrgyzstan, 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 Kyrgyzstan. Next is Lebanon, Lebanon. So there are three syllables and the stress is on the first one. Lebanon, 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 Lebanon. Next is Liberia, Liberia. So there are total three syllables and the stress is on the second one, B. Liberia, 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 Liberia. Next is Libya, Libya. Two syllables, Libya, and the stress is on the first one, Libya, Libya, Libya. Next is Luxembourg, Luxembourg. So there are three syllables and the stress is on the first one, Luxembourg, 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 Luxembourg. Next is Madagascar, Madagascar. So there are four syllables and you have to stress on the third one, Madagascar, 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 Madagascar. Next is Malaysia, Malaysia. So there are three syllables and the stress is on the second one, Malaysia, 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 Malaysia. Next is Maldives, Maldives. So there are two syllables, Maldives, and the stress is on the first one, Maldives, 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 Maldives. Next is Malta, Malta. Again two syllables and stress is on the first one, Malta, Malta, Malta. Next is Mauritius, Mauritius. So there are three syllables and stress is on the second one, Mauritius, 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 Mauritius. Next is Micronesia, Micronesia. So there are three syllables and the stress is on the second one, Micronesia, 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 Micronesia. Next is Monaco, Monaco. So there are 3 syllables and stress is on the first one. Monaco, 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 Monaco. Mongolia, Mongolia. There are total 3 syllables and the stress is on the second one. Mongolia, 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 Mongolia. Next is Morocco. Again there are 3 syllables and the stress is on the second one. Morocco, 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 Morocco. Next is Mozambique, 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 Mozambique. And the stress is on the third one. Mozambique, 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 Mozambique. Next is Myanmar, Myanmar. 2 syllables and the stress is on the second one. Mar, Myanmar, 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 Myanmar. Next is Namibia, Namibia. There are 2 syllables, Namibia. So the stress is on the first one. Namibia, Namibia, Namibia. Next is Netherlands, Netherlands. There are 3 syllables and the stress is on the first one. Netherlands, 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 Netherlands. Next is New Zealand, New Zealand. So there are 3 syllables and the stress is on the second one. New Zealand, New Zealand, New Zealand, New Zealand, New Zealand. Next is Nigeria, Nigeria. So there are 3 syllables and the stress is on the second one. G, Nigeria, 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 Nigeria. Next is Oman, Oman, Oman. And the stress is on the second syllable. Man, Oman, Oman. Next is Panama, Panama. So there are 3 syllables and you have to stress on the first one. Panama, Panama, Panama. Next is Peru, Peru. So there are 2 syllables and the stress is on the second one. Peru, 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 Peru. Next is Philippines, Philippines. So there are 2 syllables and you have to stress on the second one. Philippines, 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 Philippines. Next is Poland, Poland. There are 2 syllables and you have to stress on the first one. Poland, 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 Poland. Next is Portugal, Portugal. So there are 3 syllables and the stress is on the first one. Portugal, 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 Portugal. Next is Qatar, 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 Qatar. The stress is on the second syllable. Tar, Qatar, 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 Qatar. Next is Romania, Romania. There are 3 syllables and the stress is on the second one. May, Romania, 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 Romania. Next is Russia, Russia. So there are 2 syllables and the stress is on the second one. Russia, 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 Russia. Next is San Marino, San Marino. In Marino, there are 3 syllables. Marino. And the stress is on the second one. Re. San Marino, San Marino, San Marino, San Marino. Next is Saudi Arabia, Saudi Arabia, Saudi Arabia, Saudi Arabia. Next is Seychelles, Seychelles, Seychelles. So there are 2 syllables and the stress is on the second one. Seychelles, 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 Seychelles. Next is Sierra Leone. Sierra. 2 syllables and the stress is on the second one. Sierra. Sierra. Sierra Leone. Leon. Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone. Next is Slovakia. Slovakia. So there are 3 syllables and the stress is on the second one. Slovakia. 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 Slovenia. Slovenia. So again there are 3 syllables and the stress is on the second one. Slovenia. 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 Next is Sweden. Sweden. There are 2 syllables and the stress is on the first one. Sweden. 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 Switzerland. Switzerland. So there are 3 syllables. Switzerland. And the stress is on the first one. Switzerland. 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 Scotland. Scotland. There are 2 syllables and the stress is on the first one. Scotland. 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 Syria. Syria. There are 2 syllables. Syria. And the stress is on the first one. Syria. 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 Next is Tajikistan. Tajikistan. There are 4 syllables. Tajikistan. And the stress is on the last one. Stan. Tajikistan. 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 Next is Thailand. Thailand. There are 2 syllables. Thailand. And the stress is on the first one. Thai. Thailand. 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 Next is Turkey. Turkey. There are 2 syllables and the stress is on the first one. Turkey. 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 Next is Turkmenistan. 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 And the stress is again on the third syllable. Turkmenistan. 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 Next is Uganda. Uganda. There are 2 syllables. Uganda. And the stress is on the second one. Uganda. 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 Next is Ukraine. 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 There are 2 syllables and the stress is on the second one. Ukraine. So stress is on crane. Ukraine. 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 Next is Venezuela. 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 There are total 3 syllables. Venezuela. And the stress is on the third one. Zuela. Venezuela. 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 Next is Vietnam. Vietnam. There are 3 syllables. Vietnam. And the stress is on the third one. Vietnam. 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 Next is Wales. Wales. There is only 1 syllable. Wales. Wales. Next is Zambia. Zambia. There are 2 syllables. Zambia. And the stress is on the first one. Zambia. 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 And the last one is Zimbabwe. 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 There are 3 syllables. Zimbabwe. And the stress is on the second one. Bab. Zimbabwe. 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 So that's all for today. I hope you understood the correct pronunciation of these 100 countries. So please practice and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel Parul English Lab and press the bell icon also for future notifications. Thank you. Take care. Have a great day.